Steve, you referenced that Oklahoma game a couple times. How many times have you watched that film that it was that readily on your mind?
I've watched it a couple times just because of the way they guarded in that game. I talked to Fred one day this summer, and Fred had told me just to watch the Oklahoma game because that was their best offensive half. And so I watched that game a bunch, and I just kept, the biggest thing in those situations, we were just out of character the first, really 15 minutes of the first half. They threw a punch. Utah was playing out of his mind, and he's a very good player. And we were rushing. We were just playing too fast offensively, and we were all trying to get it back at once. And so the biggest thing was just to kind of remind these guys that they've been in this situation so many times. And like I said, even the Oklahoma game, and it did tonight, we made a little run, and it went back up to 18, 19, 20 tonight in the second half. Did the same thing in the Oklahoma game if you go back and watch it tonight in the second half. And so, we just needed to get it to single digits. And then when we get to single digits, it got closer. And the most impressive thing is when Monte went out and we dropped, we were able to come back one more time.
What's the plan? He probably hadn't had much of rest, try to get him a little bit of a blow so he had what he had there at the end?
Yeah, I would have. If he didn't, he just asked me to come out for that minute right there to rest. He was cramping a little bit, is what he told me, and we were trying to get him stretched. And I told him, you just tell me. I'll keep you in or I'll take you out. You just tell me how we want to work this down the stretch. And he just told me, he said, man, take me out at 5, put me back in at the media. And that's why I had to burn the last time out. I thought the game was getting a little bit away from us. And we got an experienced group that I can just, I can coach from the sidelines or they can huddle and make calls on their own that we weren't going to need a timeout. So that was more important right there, getting him back in the game and getting Jamil back in there.
What did you draw up there for Monte, and how did you see it unfold compared to what you had planned?
That's just the play that, been running it for years. It's just the I don't want to say money play, but that's get the ball to the point guard and go make a play. And, you just, and Monte was really good off the ball screen tonight in the second half.
Coach, can you talk about Matt Thomas's defense in the second half on Utah and maybe your thoughts on putting him on Jared after that amazing first half?
The first half, and I'll go back and look. I don't know how he, I know the first one came in transition. I think 2 threes came in transition early, and then he beat George on a drive one time, and now he's got 10 right out of the gate, and then we lost him a couple times. I just want to go back and say we got those 30 in the first half, but once we got the last really 5 minutes of the first half and second half was, no catch him, front him anywhere he's got the ball if they're going to, because they posted Naz a couple times, we were behind, front him. If you're away from the ball, you don't have to be in the paint. 2 steps, cheat to him. And we did a better job just staying connected. And he made some tough shots, too, in the first half, if you look. But Matt did a tremendous job. Matt's been great. Matt's got great size. He's not thin. He's got good size, strength. He's what we all wish when we were 21 years old or even 41 now we look like, when you take your shirt off.
You went to Matt early in the second half, and it sounds like if Monte hadn't cramped up, you might have rolled with that lineup for, I think it was almost 16 minutes. How are you evaluating that in your head? Whether or not those guys need rest, or was there a time where you committed that they're going to have to go the rest of the way?
Man, they were going right there. I asked TJ one time, I was like, what you think, man? Because I'm going to ride him to the end right now, Dooley's been great all year. I don't know if he was in funk tonight or what, and then just thought I needed those guys on the floor. And so, it's like I told those guys, the Illinois game was a different group. This group is a different group. We're going to finish the lineups with different teams every game, and that's the great thing about our team. And so, we rode these guys, and they were great. I mean, you look at these, Monte 20 and 9, Jamil 20 and 12. George was big in the second half with big shots, and then Matt Thomas 19 was huge. And then he did a great job, like Chris said, on Utah.
You see a lot of when there's these big comebacks, you guys just run out of gas. Like, what gave you confidence to keep those guys in? I think that wouldn't be the case.
Tried to call some timeouts. If you saw, it's a little bit different. Tried to call some timeouts in different situations to just get some rest. You got the media timeouts. You got 14-5. You got a lot of emotion and energy. But right when we hit that stride, because everybody's thinking, all right, they made their run, and this is it. We're wet. We're gassed. But I think that press gave us one more little little bit of energy. And Jamil is just so big, we probably need to start working on it a little bit. It's more of a freelance, just, hey, you know, let's get one good trap and then get back. But I thought we were really smart and disciplined in it, and then got back and did a good job in the half court. But those guys willed themselves. I mean, G's got a bloody lip. Monte's cramping. You know, Jamil, I'm sure he's beat up, and Matt and all those guys. Naz is, everybody knows his story. You know, so we'll take tomorrow off for sure and go late on Saturday.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the fans rushing the court after the game?
Oh man, that was great. I mean, I hate that Randy got hurt. I mean, that's terrible. But you know, my thing was I was going to shake hands and going to see my wife, to be honest, because that was a great moment. But that's part of college basketball. You know, there's a picture of, you know, when they beat Michigan a couple years ago here. I don't know if it was Fred's second or third year here. Beat Michigan, everybody rushed the floor, and it's a great rivalry. A lot of respect for Fran and his team. They played really, really well tonight. We were just fortunate to make one more shot.
Are you worried at all that with that injury, this could be used as possibly an example of the danger of rushing the court and fans and stuff like that?
No, I'm just trying to keep George and Jamil and Dooley and these guys straight, man. I'm not. That's not my decisions on anything like that. You know, that's part of college athletics. That's a great moment. Those college kids, they'll never. I mean, them guys been camping out here for 3 days. There's only like probably 10 schools that do that in the country. So give them their 15, 20 minutes to do that. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. I probably should have enjoyed it more, but I was just thank God I didn't have to come into this media session my first year and answer questions on why you got lost to Iowa.
Steve, you brought up George in the big shots late. How important was he down the stretch for you guys with the comeback?
It was big. You know, he missed the 3 in the one possession. We got a rebound, and he got his hands on it. He made the second one. I just was like, man, he shoots them all the time. They deserve to go in. He's earned the right to take those shots and make those shots. And, you know, then he made the free throws, and he made the spin, the one big-time spin move, you know, was huge. You know, because I bet he had 12 in the second half, I'm guessing, 10 or 12 maybe. I know I looked up there at one point, he only had 4 points. He finished really, really strong. But he's a senior and he's an All-American. And so, but we all played with a lot more poise in the second half. I thought we got into stuff better in the second half. And then we got stops. You know, that was huge.
Steve, first big game as an Iowa State coach. You guys are getting killed well into the second half, and then you experience the magic. Can you describe to me, like, the emotions in there for you the first time feeling this and the fact that it worked out right?
You know, that the biggest thing is in any game is, you know, I just thought we lost our poise, and that's what I was thinking. The biggest thing is we'd been through some adversity in Colorado, Illinois, some tough games, but this was the first time we didn't have our composure the right way. We didn't handle adversity the right way in the first half. And the biggest thing is, man, you playing 40 minutes, man. I mean, you see it all the time. You just got to, you know, Wimp Sanderson, I went to school at Alabama, you say, stick with your knitting, stick with your knitting, stick with your knittings. Knittings, like you're knitting, crocheting, stick with your knittings. And, you know, and that's the one, if you went to Alabama, that's the one story you always hear about Wimp. But, you know, and we just had to stay the course. I tell the guys all the time, just stay the course, stay the course, stay the course, and we're gonna be fine. And, you know, Monte made a big-time shot. I guess was Iowa out of timeouts? I don't even know. They may have had one. And we had a foul to give, but I didn't want to, you know, do all that. We had to just play it out. And Utah, thank goodness he missed it, you know. But, you know, that was fun, you know.
And then going through your mind is literally, thank God I don't have to face these reporters?
No, going through my mind was, man, let me go hug my wife and see my baby, to be honest. Not that. That was just a joke for you guys to laugh. Thank you, Coach. Thanks.